Good day to you, fellow travelers. Welcome to the logbook of a simple Lindwurm traveler. I am Grotnib, and today I'm looking to tell you what this uh, channel series is going to be all about. As you probably know, if you have stumbled upon this video, Corvuspelli is in the process of launching their brand new and, at least to me, very exciting fantasy war game, Warcrow. As the game is in its infancy, there isn't all that much content out there regarding the game, and I was thinking that in my small, humble way, I could be part of the remedy to that. So I have decided to try my hand on producing some Warcrow related videos on YouTube, and this is the first video that's about explaining who I am and what I'll be trying to do in the hopefully not too distant future. Also, I'm not going to lie, I was looking for a hobby related project to occupy myself, and as I have been getting into Warcrow, doing something about that game has become more and more appealing to me, so here we are. I really don't like talking about myself, but I was thinking that some basic information is probably a prerequisite for people who are willing to put up with me talking to a microphone about the game. So here we go. I'm a Finnish wargamer. Some of you may know me from the international Infinity scene, at least online. I'm not all that well traveled when compared to many other players, but I have been doing my best to be an active part of the internet scene for quite a few years now. I have quite a varied background in a vast amount of different war games and other stuff related to the hobby, but I've been pretty much exclusively playing Infinity for the past 5 years or so. When it comes to being part of the Infinity community, my claim to fame has been my pet project there, which is The Good Guys Wear Orange, a Rama Task Force faction blog that then grew to be about more than just Rama Task Force, but mostly about that single faction. With Infinity N4 around N5 around the corner, it's possible that I may at some point return to working on The Good Guys Wear Orange in some way or another. Though I have to also say that there is an heir apparent to my work there in Tassu, a very talented and hardworking Finnish Infinity gamer who's really been playing the wheels off Rama Task Force these past few years. When I decided to start working on something related to Warcrow, I was looking to implement the basic formula of The Good Guys Wear Orange. That is, I was planning to write a blog online, and this was because I think I had the writing process more or less sorted out for the type of content I was looking to create previously. Um, and there are some definite advantages to a written blog form online. Um, Most importantly, there is the possibility of editing the text after, making changes, making additions pretty easily. And that was something that I was looking forward to doing with the Warcrow content you are about to see, because the game, as already said, is just launching, so there are bound to be changes. I'm bound to make mistakes. There are going to be new releases that affect the way we see, the way we play things. But at the same time, as I was preparing my first real article about the dice of Warcrow to the blog to be released, I came to the realization that I just don't have enough time for the writing and especially the editing. As you can hear, and as you already know from what I've told, I am not a native English speaker, so the editing process was taking quite a long time for me. I was trying to edit out as many mistakes, make my thoughts as understandable as possible, and I just don't have enough time for that right now. So I was thinking that these voiced over presentations would be a less time intensive way to interact with the community and get the things I want to say out there. As you all have already heard, my pronunciation is what it is. Then again, you are consumers of a product that's made by a proudly Spanish company, so accents are not a thing that turns you off, hopefully. Just be prepared for some inconsistent pronunciations, as well as long silences when I try to figure out how to say something that's on my mind in the English words that you can then understand. I'm really excited to figure out what Warcrow is all about. I'm looking forward to enjoying the game, and it's more important for me personally to enjoy the game than excel at it, even though I'm probably going to be aiming to do both if that's at all possible. I'm also hoping that the stuff I'm planning to produce is going to help others get into the game. Starting something new and complex is always a bit rough, and I was thinking that maybe in my own small way I can help new players get into the game of Warcrow. And also, I think it's a way of showing appreciation towards Corvuspelli. They are working hard on this stuff, and they are producing excellent quality stuff. Um, Having played quite a many war games in my time, I want to show appreciation where that's appropriate. My guiding principle when it comes to being part of the community, whether it's in Infinity or now via this project in Warcrow, is to try and be a positive force in the community. Obviously, that doesn't mean that I wouldn't at times disagree with people. It doesn't even mean that I don't sometimes get angry or frustrated. But I do my best to try and be constructive. I try to be respectful towards other people as well as possible, and I'm trying to find ways to make things work rather than trying to find reasons why stuff doesn't work, if that makes sense to you. So, what am I trying to do with this humble project of mine? I'll be doing voiced over PowerPoint shows of the quality more or less that you are witnessing right now. If an Australian guy talking about defense economics can get hundreds of thousands of subscribers online by doing this, then heck, a Finnish wargamer should be able to do that also, right? Jokes aside, I'm going to try and showcase the game of Warcrow in different ways and try to voice my thoughts on it. I'll be looking to provide content that can act as something that helps people get into the game, not tutorials per se, but rather stuff that once you have read the rules will help you get into the game deeper, and maybe once you have your couple of first games in, then you can get more out of these presentations that I'm trying to produce here. Also, as the game becomes more widespread and people play more and more strong opinions among the more veteran players start to pop up, I'll be trying to stir up discussion among more established players. I feel that a new game like this, or an older game for that matter, is always a chance for the meta to grow, for people to try and enjoy new things, learn new things, and find surprising ways of playing. And while there are people in this community and other wargaming communities who are savant level players and really smart people, like for example on from the Infinity side I could say people like our very own Panda Beast Mode, Rob Shepard, and others. I'm not one of those people, but I'm a person who likes to try things out and see what sticks. And when I try things out, I try to find out why they work or why they don't work, which then I feel opens up possibilities for coming up with new stuff also. So that's what I'm trying to get people, more experienced people doing, trying stuff, talking about stuff, and innovating stuff as a result. Well, then some of the things that I won't be doing on this channel. I won't be trying to make any money. This is the first time I'm publishing anything on YouTube, but I'll be doing my best to demonetize my videos. I'm not trying to get any money out of this. I'm not going to be asking you to like, to subscribe, to comment. This is a hobby for me that I do to relax. I don't want this to be anything else. I don't want this to be a money making project or anything. I don't need the stress of trying to appease customers or or whatever. And I really don't consider myself a content creator. I consider myself a gamer and an enthusiast of the discipline of wargaming, but that's really it. I'm also not trying to show off my excellence in any way, as you have seen from the pictures that I'm using as visual content for these slides. I'm not much of a painter. I have painted for so long that I feel that I have some grasp in how to create a color scheme that I like, but that's really it. My painting technique is rather humble, and I don't have aspirations to become a master painter. I have mad respect for people who are great at the craft. Like for example, I just saw a model painted by my friend Ape Strong the other day, and I couldn't in a million years paint something like that. But that's probably a reason, or the cause of that is probably that I not only lack the talent, but I also lack the drive to become great at painting. That's not my thing. But I paint my models to my moderate level, and I'm okay with that. But I want to showcase them here because A, that makes producing visual material for these presentations easy, and B, I would like to lower the expectations that people put on themselves, especially newer painters, on what they can get away with and what they can showcase. So everybody paints at their level and in their way, and everybody's models are worthy of seeing the tabletop. So hopefully I can I can be a positive force by saying that you don't have to be a great painter to be appreciated in this community also as a painter. Also, I'm not a techie. I'm using what audio devices I have. I'm using the computer that I have access to, and it's not probably going to get any better from here. I'm not planning on soundproofing a room, getting new and better microphones. editing the audio in any meaningful way. So if what you're hearing now is making your ears bleed and you can't solve the problem at your end, then I'm sorry. This channel probably isn't then for you, because I don't think it's going to get much better than this in the future either. Also, I'm not looking to establish myself as a figure of authority in the Warcrow community. I think that there's enough space for many voices in the community. I'm just looking to be one of those voices, not a voice of authority. It's okay for you to think and say that I'm wrong, and I am wrong sometimes, if not a lot of times, and that's also okay. I'm not pinning my self-esteem on being a master of the craft here. But at the same time, I think that people don't maybe voice their opinions enough in because there is in these communities, because there tends to, from my experience, there tends to form a certain narrative of truth or so-called truth among the wargamers on, for example, what's good, what's bad. And challenging that narrative is usually something that triggers a reflexive response from many people, and they're not actually thinking whether there's merit to somebody challenging that narrative. They're just copying something they heard somebody else say. So I think I'm here trying to be critical, I'm here trying to be innovative, and that also means that I'm going to be wrong a lot of the time. But let's talk about it, let's get the discussion going, and maybe together we can then end up somewhere where we have actually invented something cool and usable that we can be proud of. If and when I disagree with somebody, or if I say that I consider something to be not great, or I consider something to be good, and you have the opposite belief, or you think otherwise, then remember that I'm not trying to make you feel bad about yourself. I'm not trying to diminish anybody. I'm not trying to tear anyone down. We are allowed to have different kinds of opinions, and I am more than eager to engage with people and talk things out and see if we can together find a common ground from which to work with. And maybe, like I already said, we can at some times find together a way to reconcile our views, but also we can say that okay, we just don't think the same way about a thing, and that's fine also. I truly and sincerely hope that if you choose to have a dialogue with me, or with especially with other people, for example in the comments of these videos, please remain positive and respectful. You don't have to agree with me or with anybody else, and I'm more than happy to hear when I'm wrong, when I make outright mistakes, and when there's something that I could improve game wise, more so than painting or audiovisual quality wise. But let's do it in a nice and friendly way, because we are all here because we enjoy this hobby. We are all here because we have more in common with each other than we might think, and we are all wargamers and travelers in the world of Lindwurm, right? Okay, so what am I going to be trying to cover then? What types of videos am I planning to make? I'm going to be trying to prepare new player friendly breakdowns of various subjects. My first video that I'm planning to release after this intro video is about the dice in the game of Warcrow. I'm looking to break down what you can expect to roll with what, and basically give you examples of the dice rolls involved in various situations, so that this can hopefully ease newer players into the game. I'm also going to be doing unit analysis. That's something that I did a lot in The Good Guys Wear Orange, and that's something that I feel has value. And actually, I have already started working on my first unit analysis that's probably going to be released sometime in the not too distant future. When the time comes, I'm also planning to do battle reports. An important thing that I wanted to convey with my Infinity blog when I did the few battle reports that I did was that I wanted to tell both sides of the story, not just from one player's perspective, but also from the others. If and when I'm going to be doing battle reports on Warcrow, I need to try and figure out a way to get both players' voices heard on the subject. So I haven't yet figured out how to do that in this format, but there's plenty of time, and this will be a learning experience for me also. I'm also planning on making videos on stuff that's important in the Warcrow meta at the time of recording. This might be a particular strategy, it might be a unit that people find somehow extremely impactful or meta defining, common army builds or any other stuff that starts to become a point of discussion among the community. I'm very much into the Northern Tribes faction as of right now, so you can expect a Northern Tribes focus when it comes to unit analysis and stuff like that. But I'm thinking of being more open to doing unit analysis for other factions also. I'm probably going to be playing Hegemony in the long run also. Out of all the factions that they currently are about to release, those are the two ones that I feel most drawn to. So I would imagine some Hegemony of Embersic material also coming, but also if there are important, interesting meta-defining units from other factions, I will probably be covering those also, or strategies for other factions also. But what's important is that I usually don't like to do hot takes. Giving a hot take or two among friends or even on the Discord server is one thing, because I feel that that's more just people bantering than anything else. But I feel that when I do a video on something or I write onto my blog when it comes to Infinity about something, then it's not just bantering. Then I'm trying to articulate a view that I have built, and I'm trying to explain how I've come to the conclusions that I have reached, and how I think that the information I am providing can be useful to people playing the game. So if you're looking for people to react to new profile previews or stuff like that, this isn't going to be a channel for those things. So far my idea is to talk about stuff that I have hopefully personally played enough that I have a comprehensive understanding of the thing, or that I can make relatively like good guesses on how things are going to proceed, or what something means. Obviously, when we have a new game like we do right now, many of the things that I'm going to do in these first videos is going to be based more on contextual information, anecdotal evidence, and some guesswork. But I think that's the cost we have to pay right now in order to get this content out there. And maybe later, if things that I have said in the earlier videos turn out to be monstrously wrong, then I will come back and do these things over and recover the subjects that I have already covered. But this channel, just like the game of Warcrow, is in its infancy. I'm excited to see how the war game will turn out. I'm excited to see where this project will take us. And now I think I have already rambled for way longer than I was planning to. So stay tuned for my first actual videos of content, and safe travels to everybody. Goodbye.